All right, welcome back. Um, another week. Another week. I mean, we say week. It's like we go 2 to 3 weeks just because we're both so busy. We run such important and busy lives that here. Hey, look. We literally just started 45 seconds ago. Not even kidding. You gotta sit next. You gotta sit over here.
Oh.
Here, and you have to put this in so that the audio doesn't go through. We waited almost 15 to 20 minutes to start late because I wanted to see if I could find my camping chair so that you would be sitting down here and your little head would be right here. But
really?
but unfortunately we weren't able to make that happen. So the more you could slouch, the better. Hey, Garrett, get Garrett on here. Garrett, come back. Just say hi for a second. Does he want to say hi for a second? Tell him to throw on the headphones. Garrett, he doesn't want to talk. Why does he want to talk? What? Why doesn't he want to talk to us? I told you you should get him. I knew he would be mad. So you can't show that. You have to wait. Look, you see this timer right here? Wait until that says 5, and then you can show that, okay? I can make it better if you want me to, but that's kind of the first run. This lost all of its glow. I have another one that glows green. That one's supposed to glow blue, but wait for a couple more minutes, and you can. We're recording right now, but wait for a couple more minutes, and we'll show you what the present that Bryce is talking about. Anyway, we just started. We were going to talk about Stargate. I don't know if Bryce cares anything about what.
I guess I gotta get closer to this table, bro.
Why?
Or else this thing's gonna fall out of my ear when I lean back.
Oh, okay. What?
Bro, gigs. What are you eating, dog?
Okay. Anyway, we took you 15
3 to 5 business days for real.
We had just started. We were doing introductions, so we'll have Bryce introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Bryce. Bro. You interrupted me, dude.
Yeah, you interrupted. Now we have to start all over. Yeah, go. The audio's gone. Give us a sec. Okay, we're back. Gideon. I'll show you whenever I get it right. Our desktop audio and our audio from here. See? Gideon, say something. Wait, say something again. Oh, we haven't been able to hear Gideon this whole time. This is a disaster.
Hold on. I'm getting a phone call.
Answer it.
Hello, this is Bryce.
Hey, Bryce, it's Ricky.
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I have seen your
Yeah, you're okay.
I'm so sorry. We are working through some reorganization with a couple positions, and we're kind of moving one to a different property, and then there's one that will be um, moving on. And when that transition takes place, we will have an opening for the leasing role. It's just not today. And it will probably happen, and I wish I had the details and more of that information for you. I don't. But I'm going to just put it out there and say within the next 30 days or so. Um, but you are number one on our list the moment we have that opportunity to fill that next position. You are the one that we are going to call. Um, and I know that, you might look elsewhere or maybe may land another job. We completely get that and we will respect that, but we'll still reach out to you um, when we're ready, and would love for you at that time to consider joining our team.
Okay. Oh yeah,
So
that
yeah,
would be so great, and it's totally okay. It was the craziest thing. I gave you a call, and then maybe like 5 minutes later, Trevor called me all of a sudden.
okay, okay.
So,
Well,
and
there
yeah,
we go. All right. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Maybe there was just, I don't know. But I'm glad that he did.
yeah.
I'm very glad that he did. So I know he went on vacation for a week or so.
Uh huh.
And then I messaged him a couple times throughout, last week and I think the week before. Hey, have you talked with him? He's been busy. We're building up there.
We're gonna keep all of that. Bryce just got a job apparently, but we were having audio issues. We're gonna keep that first part, but
V-Bucks acquired.
did you say V Bucks acquired?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I need more V Bucks.
Dude, I need.
More V-Bucks acquired. Neat. No longer.
um. Uh, anyway, back on track. So Bryce just got his job apparently, that was crazy. That's gonna be annoying for me to have to go through and edit all that. Gideon, we didn't hear any of that first part, so we're gonna do introductions again. So there's not
Bryce, she said that you were number one on her list of people to bank. That was insane.
that's insane that she said that. How old is she married?
I don't know.
Yeah. She
Have
wants you so bad, Bryce.
Have you met either one of those people?
Yeah.
Are they cool?
How old is she, Bryce?
So wait, okay. My question is, what was the disconnect of? Didn't you interview with him like 3 weeks ago? So it's been 3 weeks. They just never they didn't communicate with each other. So they just were like, no, we're not going to talk to you for a couple weeks, and she just frantically calls you randomly and says,
Yeah, pretty much.
"That's
Yeah.
terrible."
How do you think she is, Bryce? Did she have a ring on her finger?
I have no idea, dude. I did a over the
You think,
computer interview with her. She's in
you
Salt
think
Lake.
she's over the age of 35? That's what I need to know.
That's
She
Gideon's sweet
probably
spot.
is.
35 to 55.
The only information I know about her is she works at this company. She's probably around 35, and she runs 7 miles every morning.
I did some zone 2 this morning. I'm still, my heart rate is still not great. I'm still working on that.
I respect the grind.
Bro, every time you say something, dude, you're like looking around like
He's
a
on crack
squirrel
right
or
now.
something.
And this room is crazy. What are we looking at on here? The lights, I think we talked about this last time, but why was there so much fog in that room yesterday?
See, every day I come home and there's more crap in my room.
So why was there fog?
Yeah, why was there fog in there? What was happening with that? Was he just doing his homework and he's like, I want to not be able to see 4 feet in front of me?
Yeah, basically.
Is he gonna?
Yay!
Are you gonna come say hi to us or what? Gigs,
He won't do it.
Anyway,
We can speak. Tell him we can speak Spanish. We can practice our
We
Spanish.
can't see
together.
the mural, guys. It's too dark.
What is
No,
the
don't
mural?
change
Tell
the
him to
light,
get on
Garrus.
here. Gigs, go speakerphone.
Garrus, if you're going to show things off, you have to do it on your computer. You have to get on. That's the rule. If you're going to participate in the conversation and show people all your cool tech gadgets, you have to get on. There, I've incentivized him.
Is he getting on? Hopefully there's nothing in here that's recorded that can... This is a shit show.
Don't know.
I love it. This is all
It is.
on. I don't know how I get rid of this bar right here. But I just did too.
I thought this button turned that light on.
That's crazy. We're keeping all this in. This is all garbage, but we want it.
Hey Google, stop this. Madness. Please.
Is he getting on or no? Okay, it's been fixed. You fixed it.
Hey Google, stop.
Is he getting on or not?
I don't know.
Did he just turn off the internet?
No, he turned the lights off. Hey Google. Oh, I guess he turned my light on and all the other ones off.
Anyway, so Bryce just got offered, or he just got said that they want to hire him, but
He just got propositioned by an older woman.
By yes,
Basically, yeah.
but we'll see what ends up happening with that. But to start off, we need introductions. Gideon, who are you?
I'm Ammon's cousin, and Bryce's soon-to-be husband.
Okay, who's Bryce?
I like that. Sorry. I'm Bryce.
Bryce is my Pookie Bear.
I'm Giggs's Pookie Bear.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
And now
I'm
show this.
I like to stick this in my butt.
Can't confirm.
Scale.
That's pretty crazy.
I have some pretty big hands. What? I don't think we can show that.
Okay, never mind. Anyway.
We have a picture of Homer. Anyway, we can set that back over there.
It just popped up out of frame.
Anyway, I'm Ammon. I thought it would be a good idea to do this podcast. The more we do it, the less I'm sure it's a good idea.
This looks like a bomb.
This is like herding cats. Both of you are just like playing with shit in your head. We're not even talking. We've been doing maybe 15 minutes in, and nothing has been done besides everyone just fighting, which is
Butt plug.
Also butt plug.
Anyway,
Brave enough.
Another butt plug.
You put that up your butt, I'm gonna kill myself. Anyway.
Butt plug.
Oh, I have some.
Oh,
Could you fit this up? It's not flange. I'd be worried it would get stuck in there, but anyway.
Watch, sponsor us.
Hey, you can take it off if you want to go grab whatever you were going to grab. So what we were...
Butt plug.
It's an expandable one. That one's kind of nice. Got that one from Spencer's.
What? I'm putting that down.
Yeah, here.
Butt plug.
You're keeping this, right?
Yes.
Bryce, butt plug. Butt plug.
Yo, what?
I wonder if that would light in someone's anus. Like, maybe there's probably not enough oxygen. It would just spark.
Methane gas.
But then it could go combustion, and then
Comes out their mouth.
that'd be bad. The podcast is called Turbo ADHD. It's just us being spazzes and talking about whatever we want to talk about. So leading into that, something that I want to talk about that just happened, which is Stargate. there's a bunch of drama around it. Um, Give me one sec. This I'm supposed to take a picture of whatever I'm doing at the exact moment that this goes off every at 3:15. So we're gonna try to do.
Is this Be Real?
It's my version of Be Real because that app is gay. I got it from Ilya, some engineer at OpenAI. But speaking of OpenAI, Gigs was asking me last night about what I thought about Stargate, which was essentially $500 billion going towards building AI in the United States. But there's an update. There's some drama. Elon Musk, and I won't go into all of the background unless you want me to. Elon Musk hates Sam Altman because Elon Musk started the first like $400 million in OpenAI, and then it was turned from a nonprofit into a for-profit, and now makes the company and money that they make now. And then now he just struck a deal with the government to like get $500 billion towards making AI bigger and stronger and whatever else. It's a big oversimplification. Anyway, Elon Musk all over Twitter commenting on Sam's posts is pretty much saying this guy is a fraudster. He doesn't know what he's talking about. There's no money in this. No one has the money to make this go down. And he is essentially lambasting him all over the internet. So we're gonna see if Elon Musk doesn't want it to happen, what he can do about it to make it not happen. So there's a lot of infighting within all of the powerful people within this organization. So I don't know. I don't know what I think. I think Stargate. I'm worried about it because, not that anybody cares. We can talk about something else. I'm probably the only one that like genuinely.
Because what? Transhumanism?
Yeah, transhumanism is scary. I'm pretty sure Sam Altman is like a transhumanist, or at least like a. He wants to make the Terminator real, kind of thing.
He wants to bang Cortana.
I mean, who wouldn't? That's gonna happen sooner rather than later. Whether we have the AI from Halo or Terminator, we're gonna get sex robots, probably super quick too.
I see this as an absolute win.
I know. Do you know anything about the new presidency? I know you like don't care about politics at all.
I don't know anything about anything.
You can leave.
Oh, yep, and that's why we love you, Bryce.
That's why we love you, Bryce. Anyway, we don't have to talk about Stargate because it seems like neither one of you care about Stargate. Gideon, why did you ask about it? What are you doing?
Because I wanted to know your thoughts on it, because you know more about these things than I do.
Yeah, I was kind of in on the loop about, or not in on the loop, but I was on Twitter reading about it. I still think that is, I think it'll be 3 to 6 months before we know exactly what's going on with all that. And then we'll see. I think that it's good if we want AI. I think this would be interesting for both of you. In history, the reason, there's like one of the main reasons why we won World War II was the manufacturing prowess that we had of making all of the guns, warships, machines, and everything else to fight the wars. We like did that well. So if you extrapolate that onto the new wars that we're fighting, they're typically online with drones or with AI, and then in the physical world with drones. And the warships aren't big human operated warships; they're all Anduril made type thing. And so I think as far as us creating a new like war front and being on the forefront of it and being able to defend ourselves, Stargate is going to be one of those fronts where we are going to win, where we're going to look back and say, in the political and economic contention that happened around AI, this was one of the turning points that made America win, the same way that the manufacturing in the Rivet Girl in World War II made one of the reasons why we won World War II. What's her names? Rosie the Riveter?
Rosie the Riveter, bro. Make tomboys great again.
Do you know who Rosie the Riveter is? Oh my goodness.
I don't know who invited me here because I don't know anything.
Bryce, if we could talk
That's
about...
why we love you, Bryce.
We're just here because we needed a hot guy on screen.
Yep.
If you could talk about anything, what would you talk about?
Fortnite or dirt bikes or stocks.
Stocks are interesting. I don't know how if we can jump back onto this, but I texted you about U.S. Treasury bonds last night. There's the
Texted me.
I texted Bryce about it. So U.S. Treasury bonds are essentially a loan that the government gives out, and if you think that these loans are going to pay a bunch, you hold them, and then they pay out later. Terrible, terrible misrepresentation of what they are. But it's essentially it's debt to the American people on the American government for its projects, um, or capital, anything that is needed for capital. They're pretty weak right now, and they're getting consistently more weak. The biggest buyer of U.S. bonds was actually China, and now they are dumping a lot of their U.S. bonds because they're not as strong. And I won't go into the full detail because I actually don't fully know. But with Doge and Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, he got kicked out maybe, and everything like that. If we are able to cut down a bunch of the debt in the U.S., the bonds will become very strong. And so I'm thinking about placing a couple bets and buying some bonds. You're looking at your, and seeing if I'm right. Because if Elon can cut a lot of the budget and can fix spending and put in a lot of things in place, we can talk about all the individual things, and there's probably more that we don't even know about that they're planning on doing. That means that if you buy some bonds right now, their yields are going to go next level, and the value of that bond is going to go up in the 6 months to a year kind of thing. So I don't know. It seems like a sound bet. You're betting on does the swamp win or does Doge and Trump win? And I'm betting on Doge and Trump if you buy bonds. I don't know. There's other ways you could place bets on them, but that's like a direct way you could place a bet on them. Is you think that their financial situation is going to get better because they're going to go in and fix all the garbage. No reckless spending. Either one of you, anything? Any circuits firing? Any words to be said?
I'm just watching the himbo. Like he's like in the background, like yawning and like doing things, and I'm just like sitting here, like, wow, that is a good looking man.
No way, bro.
Get a room.
I would, but he's far away. Me and Ammon are here together.
Yeah, but he won't.
Just whoa! Sorry.
No.
We only do that off camera.
This is...
You have to pay extra to get. You have to subscribe to the channel. Link tree in the bottom.
Yeah, go to our OnlyFans.
Become a member.
What am I doing here?
What do you? This is your house. You invited me here.
No, I'm just this is. I don't know.
I'm glad we brought Bryce for this one. This is great.
Oh, wait, can we find anything that we all three have in common, or at least two of us have? Because I was talking about bonds, and each one of you was like.
No, I was just distracted by Bryce. I just
like Tesla.
Tell us about your
Tell us
Tesla
more.
stocks,
Yeah,
Bryce.
Tesla is good. It's gonna go up. This is not financial.
How do you know
advice.
this, Bryce?
Yeah, this is not financial advice.
I have a feeling. I know a guy who knows a guy that said that it's probably going to go up, and I trust them.
Who?
I don't know their names. I think his name is Doug, actually.
Do you want
Sounds
me?
respectable.
So I could go over 3 main points, and you can maybe expand on them if you know about them.
I don't really know much.
Bryce just has like insane luck. Like Bryce like throws money in the stock market. He's like, "Oh, I hope this goes up," and then it goes up. He's like, "Wow, look at that! It went up."
I just checked my stocks. I made $40 today.
Good job, Bryce. What are you gonna do with that $40?
Say what?
What are you gonna do with that $40? What are you gonna do with your neat bucks, Bryce?
we talk about my relationship on here?
It's up to you. I don't care. If this is no one will see this besides Gideon's dudes that he goes to the gym with, and then I'm gonna start making shorts and throwing them up there so people can see what we're up to. Ready?
Well,
What are you gonna do with your V-Bucks?
I bought a ring.
With $40? You bitch.
No. I will not disclose the price of the ring.
$41.
After tax.
After tax, it was $43.73.
But trying to load the funds back up so I can actually start purchasing V-Bucks again. Rings are expensive,
How
dude.
Rings are expensive. Your money would be much better spent on Fortnite skins and dirt bikes, Bryce.
Mm-hmm.
Or
yeah. Well,
dirt bikes with
congratulations on
Fortnite
buying the
skins
ring.
on them.
It's a very important decision to be made in life.
Also, I rented a snow bike the other day.
You rented a snow bike?
Mm-hmm.
Like you rented one out, not you rented one.
I rented one out, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're making money.
Got that cash flow. The V-Buck flow.
I saw your ad on Facebook. I was like, good job, get it going.
Yeah.
You know what would make you even more money, Bryce? Is if you sold naked pictures of yourself online on the interwebs for goonettes to goon to.
Well, life's not that rough yet, but I will leave it in the options.
So if your life did get that rough, you would do it.
No comment. But yeah.
So if I want pictures of you, I just have to make your life worse. Is what I'm hearing.
Well, I mean, I would still do it right now for a good lump sum of money.
Are we
$20
just
is $20,
negotiating
Bryce.
news right now?
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
Price
what's
is
your price?
Well, what do you want?
What would $20 get me, Bryce? Because $20 is $20.
$20 is $20. I'd probably
Bent over
get some toe
ash
pics.
cheeks spread. What's your price for camera propped up, you bent over, spreading cheeks?
Like this. Here, I'll show.
With your head poking between your legs.
Oh. We're talking for the boys or for the girls?
For Gideon,
Just
exclusively.
in general.
For kids?
Yeah. He's crunching some numbers.
What is this?
He's trying to remember how many V-Bucks that one skin was.
The Renegade Wada. I want the Renegade Wada.
What's a Renegade Wada?
Bruh. I would probably do that for $350.
How many Fortnite skins is that, Bryce?
Gata
Well, you get 5 for every 100, so 5, 10, 15. And then you get 2.5 more skins. So 17.5 skins in Fortnite.
This one here?
No, dude, Renegade Raider.
Renegade Raider? Renegade Raider.
You know, we're looking up. Are we looking up Fortnite NSFW? Put NSFW at the end of your search. Remember that.
Okay.
It means new super fire web photos.
That's awesome.
What the flip? That's what you wanted me to do.
Yeah. That's exactly what I wanted you to do.
Share the screen. Share the screen.
Gigs doesn't get to see it. Gigs, you want to see it?
Well, can we put it on YouTube?
I
Or
just
does this
did.
go against their TOS?
I just did, so.
The one time.
Here
I
we go.
joined the
Watch
channel, bro.
stream. Hang on. Dude, that's what we were trying to get Bryce to do.
That's exactly what we were trying to get Bryce to do.
Very nice.
can't read what that says though. But picking up the pieces is the hard part.
So tell us about giving cancer to Mexicans.
Yeah, whatever you are allowed to talk about, we do want to hear.
Cancer to Mexicans. Basically, I just send my brother towards them, and no, it doesn't. I don't actually give them cancer. It's like there's just this laser that we have on our like equipment that if you're within like 20 feet of it and it like shoots you in the eye and you're exposed to it for long enough, it could give you cancer. And so sometimes when I need like to know my range to target, I will beam them with a laser and then say that I'm giving them cancer. I probably get more cancer every single time I get out and go pee because I stand in front of the radar dish when I do it.
I think you're getting cancer from this podcast.
Probably. I thought maybe we don't deserve to have a podcast. Maybe we don't have anything interesting to say. Would you listen to this podcast?
No.
Do you listen to podcasts in general?
Sometimes.
Gigs, do you listen to podcasts? I edit these and I don't mind them.
Joe Rogan podcast, check it out.
It was just an ad for Joe Rogan.
Rogan podcast.
Trained by Day, Joe Rogan podcast.
The podcast I like is called Iced Coffee Hour.
I feel like I know
The
that.
The podcast I like is called Diaries of a Hot Wife.
That's nice, Gigs.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. He's like a moron financial guy online. He's smart. He's smarter than most, but he's so risk averse. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's in the big old podcasting space.
I listen sometimes.
Oh hey, that's what's her name? The Anal Queen.
What?
That's who this girl is. What's her name?
What?
Stella Bari.
I like her podcast, whatever it is.
Have you seen her podcast? Does she have a podcast?
No.
She does not have a podcast. She just has a lot of appearances on comedy podcasts. But yeah, that's her name in the biz. She makes $200,000 a month on OnlyFans, and she's the anal princess.
$200,000 a month? Oh man, I'd be so broken if I was a woman. If people would pay to see me naked, I'd have all sorts of money.
Well, you didn't just hand out your nudes for free, bro.
That's only for you, Bryce. I only do that for you. That's because you're special to me. I could never charge you.
When I open up text messages and I just see everything.
You see hair.
See that one part?
You see like Chewbacca. Whoa.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Gigs, you're moderating now.
I'm moderating.
Yeah.
Is that because you can't herd cats no more?
I can't do it, bro. This one is my. Okay, I'll talk about something that I think that me and Gigs will be interested in. I don't know about Bryce. Bryce, what? You good, bud? Don't. There's a giant butt plug. Just drop it on my keyboard.
Whoopsies.
The
butt plug slips.
I hate when that happens.
Job problems.
See if you can start to put it in, Bryce. What were you gonna talk about, Ammon?
No, I'm genuinely interested, Bryce.
What?
If you...
I'm confused.
Give me one sec. if you you're good, you're good. If we had to like go on about something that you're super passionate about, what would it be? Like
Besides the butt plug, Bryce.
besides the bug, what's something that like you're talking about and you're like, oh, that would be so interesting and so fun to talk about. You could talk about it for
Houses.
hours.
The real estate market.
The real estate market or houses?
Tell us about
Oh.
Freddie Mae and Fannie Mac, Bryce.
Yeah, Freddie Mae, Fannie Mac.
I've never heard that in my life.
What about the houses do you want to talk about?
I just want to buy houses. I want to rent them out and live in them.
You want to get into the real estate business and be a renter.
Yep, I bought a Robert Kiyosaki.
Oh yeah. Have you read any of it? I saw it, but have you read any of it yet?
I read like a chapter.
What did he talk about?
I read it like 3 weeks ago, so I forgot. So I need to reread it probably.
You're good. Why do you want to do that?
Because I think it's the best way to become a millionaire.
I think is it true that we're gonna say this and we're not gonna know if it's true. More millionaires are made out of real estate than anything else.
It's like 90%.
Wow, is
Because
that
everyone will always need a place to live.
Is that just from Nest Egg? As in like everyone that makes 200K a year and they have a pretty good profession, they have a bunch of equity in their house, and then their equity went up since 2015, and now they own $1 million house, and so they're a 1 or 2 millionaire because they own a $1.2 million home, and they don't own any properties, but like they own their home. Do we know that statistic? I don't know why. I asked.
That was really deep.
I want to go into real estate too. I wish I could.
I think real estate is a good like if you're not into like technology, but you're smart and patient, which I think is a thing that we could all learn.
I'm smart. I'm just not patient.
Pretty much the best of both.
Oh yeah. I'm just worried that the real estate market might be changing soon.
Yeah, I mean it always changes.
I mean, I think it does always change, but we don't have to talk about this now. I kind of want to maybe make a segment about it later, but like, if the United States financial services were structured differently, would real estate be as lucrative as it is now? I think is this something interesting to talk about? But I think all in, no matter what, even if the whole financial institutions in the world change, it's good to own land. If your country allows you to own land, unlike in
And if they don't allow you to own land, you
Move.
take it.
well, don't tell that. I mean, the English Empire is kind of powerful. We don't want to start making issues with them by saying that the British people should just like go and take their land and not have 100-year lease from the Queen.
Crazy, bro.
Do we know about that? No.
Mm-hmm.
This podcast is gonna become world famous, and we're all gonna get sniped.
It's not I'm just saying like things that are known facts.
This podcast might keep me from getting a job.
You think so?
Probably no.
Yeah, I feel like no one like when we start. If I start, yeah, whatever. Never mind. This one will be one of the less viewed ones. It'll be like the first one because everyone always goes back and watch the first one, and then the most recent one. And there'll be more recent ones than after this one.
Why are there still pyramids in Egypt?
Dude, yeah. Actually, we should talk about that. What do you guys think about? Well, how do you
Why are
think
the pyramids in Egypt? Because they were too big to move to the British Empire.
that is? I didn't know about that. That is cool. That is awesome. But how do you think they were built?
Aliens.
Do you genuinely believe that, or what do you think?
Dude, it was just a bunch of dudes.
Bunch of men. Happens when brothers.
It was probably like a bunch of guys that were like tired of hearing their wives like moan and complain, and they're like, "Dude, Pharaoh, let's do this like 5-year long project so that we don't have to listen to our wives." and we're just gonna talk about how important it is. And then they just I think a bunch of guys like us hyper fixating on a project like that with unlimited funds and slaves.
I'm pretty sure
Why wouldn't you build
they say it
one of
took
those and
around
slap a giant?
20 to 30 years to build. So that it reinforces your situation even more.
That's 20 to 30 years away from your wife. Or whenever she starts to like, you're with her, you're having a good time, she starts to get annoying, you're like, babe, I gotta go. 20 to 30 year project, cooking in the oven. They need me at the build site, babe. I gotta go. I love you. Then you leave. You dip.
It's just a big frat party, which is big stones, and they just push them together.
Well, there's some the theory is like with the technology that existed whenever they were made, it like couldn't have been possible. Like we as modern humans could barely make that operation go down. Like maybe we couldn't build it today if we wanted to. Dude, we should do that. See if they're wrong and build the pyramid. There's way more homework to go into that because like if we build it, then everyone's like, they could. We try to build the pyramid, but we use what we think that they had at that time.
It's because they have the one thing that we don't have.
And that is
thousands and thousands of Hebrew slaves.
It did say 100,000 on there.
I didn't read it. Did it say 100,000 slaves?
You know what? Would be really great is if wait, I don't know how to word this joke properly. No, never mind. I don't know how to say it, and it makes sense and be funny at the same time.
Okay.
Can you at least tell us so I know?
I was just gonna be like, if only we had somewhere.
Oh shit! I don't know if I can.
They're all dead.
Damn. I don't know.
Gassed out. R.I.P.
Back to houses.
They're probably somewhere. Who wants to be Hitler?
Elon Musk, apparently.
Facts.
What I was going to talk about before this was actually no, Gigs, you're moderating. Go ahead. Stop eating food.
Found this.
Hey.
You ever seen that video of Wilbur Soot talking with like 15 different women, and they're all talking about like girls or whatever, and it's like a bunch of e-thoughts, and then there's Wilbur Soot eating like 6 bananas.
No. He's one of the internet hotties like Bryce would be.
Yeah, Bryce, we gotta monetize and capitalize on your God bless genetics.
Dude, I look like I'm a stoner. What do you mean?
Hey, you look like that. Who's that kid that you like that does like travel videos?
Me?
He's white. He's from Texas.
You?
You're talking about somebody that I like?
Yeah, YouTuber that you like. He's married.
No idea.
He gets like a bunch of views. Let's see here. He's young. YouTube.
Ryan Trahan?
Ryan Trahan. Yes.
I don't think I really.
Who is this?
You have the same like blonde hair, white boy kind of situation going on.
I love being called a white boy.
Your hair looks good today.
This guy is way too blonde to be Bryce. This
No
guy
one
also
deserves to
looks
listen
like
to
he's
this podcast.
this guy looks like he's 12 years old. He's not the Chad chiseled faced man that Bryce is.
Dude, what the heck?
Oh, you're looking at Ryan Trahan.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to look like you, Gigs.
You know, if we had a kid together,
Explain to me how
it could look like both of us.
you can do that in vitro. I think you just like split the sperm and put them both together, and then you just have to hire a woman, put the baby in.
Who could we hire?
A whore.
I don't want a kid running around with those kind of genetics, bro.
With Gideon's genetics or a
Nice lady's genetics.
the nice lady, yeah. So what I was gonna do earlier was
She could be like a nice whore.
Am I crazy?
Yeah. Sorry.
I am crazy.
You know what we should do?
What should we do,
Make
Bryce?
a full force video with butt plugs. Stop going full force!
Bryce loves that. You know Full Force with iDubbbz, Gideon?
No, I don't know what that is.
No.
What is
We were
this?
watching it last
It's on
night.
YouTube?
No, you're kidding.
Meat salad? Airsoft fatty?
No.
Oh,
Should we just
The,
watch it on the podcast?
the airsoft fatty
Documentary.
iDubbbz documentary.
Yes.
I think I've seen it once, but that was like a long
Bryce
time
and I
ago.
have seen it maybe 3 times in the past year. He loves it. That and hair cake. I showed him old YouTube before he was even born. Before he was even conscious of like what life was.
He was still in his diapers, like
He was still in his diapers, drooling. I want to buy a house. and I showed him hair cake and
I hate the hair cake video though.
he almost threw up. It was the best. I can watch hair cake, but I can't watch the airsoft fatty. It's just so much like cringe. It hurts, and I feel bad. And he can't sit through hair cake, but he loves iDubbbz, the iDubbbz documentary.
I love that documentary too, Bryce. I just,
It's so
It's a
funny.
shame-
I was hanging out with these guys.
it's a shame he's a cuck.
It's yeah, iDubbbz now dates like a porn star. Yeah.
Yeah, and he apologized for all of his videos, Bryce, and he hates all of his fans now.
It's
What?
kind of
He's-
true.
he's-
He like turned into like some like woke thing.
Yeah, at least Joji gives us music, bro.
Joji is trying to separate himself from his pink guy character though.
He is, but he doesn't. At least he's not vocal about it.
True, yeah. I get it. This is something interesting that I want to talk about, and then we'll move on to the other thing that I was going to talk about. Do I have my? No, I don't. Do you think that because of the internet, a lot more people are going? So there's this concept of rolling deep, which is like if you grew up in the 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, you and the boys, like, you knew everyone's crimes and you said all the crazy stuff that we're saying now, but you said it not in a podcast setting, just at the bar, hanging out with the buddies, playing Nintendo or whatever. And then you're all businessmen now, or you're all rich, or you're all have careers. Some of them are public people. And they don't talk about the crazy parties that they went to, the times where they gambled away 40 grand and all these other like hooligan things that they did in their early 20s and 30s, right? And then there's the internet is now a thing. It's been in like full force since like we'll say 2016, so it's been less than a decade, we'll say. And all of us grew up on the internet, and all of us grew up being young, putting ourselves on the internet, whether it be Snapchat or whatever else. So it's like we all know that there's no facade that anyone's better than anyone else. Like we all know that that like the crazy people that did all the crazy things, it's all online, and we all just move on. Like you can't cancel us. We we know that we're good people, but we do the things that people did behind closed doors on camera kind of thing.
Mhm.
And and
Yeah.
and so it's like is as we get older, when we're in our 30s and 40s, is like what is the social environment going to be for people that are public or for people that are not public? Meaning, like, maybe you won't lose a job for saying the N word on Twitter 10 years ago because everyone had a highly likelihood of thinking it was funny to say the N word on Twitter in 2024 or whatever, or saying the word retard or whatever. And it's like everyone said it, and there's no facade of like I'm the CEO of Disney and I'm a perfect person. I say the N word behind closed doors with my buddies when we're out drinking, or whatever else you do, which sometimes is worse. Sometimes whatever the CEO of Chase Bank is doing is a lot worse than whatever we're doing on camera, kind of thing. Because
Mhm.
and so it's like maybe as we progress, it's like um, what we say won't actually come back to haunt us, but not for better or for worse. That was a long-winded thing. What do you guys think about that? Anything?
I think that I was gonna see if Bryce wanted to say anything. I've thought about that a lot too.
You say you F with that? What'd you say?
You fuck with that idea,
I,
bro?
s- I've thought about it too, and
Oh,
I think that it's true. Like because we're just to a point where everyone realize has like is kind of starting to realize that everyone has skeletons in their closet, and that like it's like the whole thing of like how they say like never meet your heroes, but at this point you see your heroes online 24/7 permanently, and so you don't have to meet them to see that like how they are.
Yeah, but I think it's
And
like as long as you're not actively trying to put skeletons in your closet right now, like you're not selling fentanyl to middle schoolers, it's like you can go get a job and be a decent person if you're not like a crazy person. It's like, yeah, you said the N word. It's like, okay. It's like your actions are going to show whether you're racist or not whether you say you are. You said a word 10 years ago.
I know, or
I
like
think that racism in
like
America is manufactured, a lot of it.
I think that everything in America is manufactured, most of it
Hey,
in
we need to
China.
manufacture
But
more.
I think that it's just like I think we're gonna get to a point where it's like, oh wow, he like partied hard and like went to a bunch of ragers and got blackout drunk in college. It's like, oh sick, bro, me too.
Who
And
didn't?
then like
It's like, are you smart
exactly,
now? Are you capable now? Are you not an idiot now? Okay.
it's just
If you
like
are an idiot, we'll fire
um
you. But if you're not now, then you're good. And it's just like there might be a little bit more firing than there used to be because people are going to be dumb. Like we should be allowed to fire more people. People should like certain companies should be able to
yeah,
fire people more. But if you're good at what you do, you're fine. We'll see.
or just like I think the most recent example that I've kind of seen is the like the Secretary of Defense nominee where like the Democrats are like trying to hound him because he's like on his third wife and he's like he's like has like an alcoholism problem and like all this stuff. And I'm just like and like everyone in the military is like, yeah, he's an infantry officer. That's how they are. I'd be more worried if you said he's an infantry officer and he doesn't have an alcohol problem and only one wife.
Yeah, he's either Mormon or a freak or lying.
Or both.
Or it's like or he's not any of that and he's a serial killer and he doesn't need to drink because he goes out and steals women off the street and skins them.
And Bryce got. Did you see Bryce's face when you said he was like, "Whoa, you could do that"?
it is kind of
Yeah.
crazy how we all just have free will to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bryce.
I think about that every
What are
day.
your intrusive thoughts on the drive over here, Bryce? Tell us about him.
Drive over here.
Yeah, did you like see a family of four and like want to hit them with your truck?
Not this time. Wait, I never think that. No, I don't know. Sometimes
Only
I
do
just,
families of 5 or more.
sometimes I think about feet, dude, in my free time.
I believe that. Some people are into feet, and that's totally fine.
Sometimes I think about feet in my free time.
No, it's the funniest thing ever. So I've been hanging out with my girlfriend a lot. I guess that goes without saying, but it was her roommate's birthday the other day.
And you saw her roommate's feet.
Yeah, dude, I see their feet all the time, all of her roommate's feet, and it's like a kind of like an inside joke. Well, not really an inside joke because everyone kind of thinks that I like feet, but I really don't. But, like I kind of do, like if it's the right person's foot. Anyway, that's besides the point. Anyway, her one roommate is so scared for me to get anywhere near her feet because I think she's scared that I'm gonna try and put it in my mouth or something.
Do you talk with him about your foot fetish?
Listen, dude.
I might
Okay,
put it in
no.
there. No,
It has
probably not.
been now 2 different girls, and there has been a theme of foot fetish in these relationships. I'm stopping thinking that it's a joke at this point. I'm starting
The
to.
common denominator is you, Bryce.
Yeah, it's not a joke anymore. He goes, it never was a joke.
No, I think feet are cool.
We didn't say you didn't think feet were cool. We're saying that you have a closeted foot fetish.
Anyway, so for her birthday, I got her a present. But guess what I got her? The roommate that's scared of me even making any jokes about her feet.
Socks.
I got her a foot mask. You know how you can get like face masks, but they make them for your feet. Isn't that
Was she
crazy?
gonna use it?
One second, Gigs. We can't hear you, but everything is fine. Don't worry.
Oh.
I got to get a better setup if I'm going to be the one recording this. Gideon, say something again.
Yep. We need that Elgato 8K capture card.
What?
Oh
Hello?
yeah, speaking
Hello?
of, Gideon.
Yeah.
Bryce knows what he wants for his birthday. He's too afraid to tell you. I want you to go onto Amazon right now.
Okay.
Now, let me know when you're there. You'll know in a moment.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go.
Okay. Now type in C. Let me know when you're in Amazon. They're just moving in the background is so funny. Are you there? Are you ready? What is taking so long to get to Amazon? Okay, C L O N E space A space W I L. Wait. Put your hand behind it and turn the brightness down a little bit.
It's not even on Amazon.
What was the picture that you showed us? We didn't even get to see it.
That's Facebook, isn't it?
What? So we
Hang on. Hold up.
When's your birthday again? Oh. He knows what he wants for Valentine's Day.
Trying to break it?
Yes. Clone a Willy. Put it further back, and then. There we go.
With balls?
Now, Gideon, it's on a Valentine's Day special. How much is it?
30% off.
So what does that make it? $80?
Yeah.
He said that his girlfriend would pitch in partially for it. No? Could you ask her real fast?
Maybe off camera.
No.
I'll get
Like
mine on.
texture. No. Don't put it on the phone. All right. No, you're good. Do you? Oh, okay. Yeah. Bryce said that he'll do it, and he'll let.
Glow in the dark.
Are we taking away from your time with your girl? Is she busy right now? We won't he wants to have we want to 3D clone it afterwards, and then we want to print a bunch of copies of it so that we can pass it out to everyone.
How do you scan it?
Well, so that's why we need to clone the Willy. Is the only way you can scan it is it turns into a rock after you clone that. Um, and then you mold it around it. It's like a 3-step process or whatever. But one of the things that comes from it is a the wiener, and you can use that a camera. It uses the rock is hard enough that whenever you scan it, you can scan it correctly. And you can't just use like even if we gave him a Viagra and I just started taking pictures of it, I wouldn't be able to get a good 3D scan of it. But if I took a 3D scanner, I wouldn't be able to scan it. It needs to be like bouncing off of a hard surface. I did a couple hours of Reddit research for him because he wants me to be able to 3D print a bunch of his penis.
Oh, that is. Surprised you make some strange requests.
What is she asking about? She's asking what we're talking about. And you said this is boring and I hate it here.
No.
What are they saying about what?
About the job.
Oh, okay. Never mind. That was crazy that we got him getting a phone call, a return phone call for him getting a job.
Yep.
Gigs.
V-Bucks acquired.
Do you want to do? Yeah. Do you want to have Ryan on next week?
Yeah, we should see if we can get Ryan on.
I just randomly thought of that. You should text him super quick, so that we don't forget. Actually,
Right.
yeah. So the last thing that I was gonna go over, Bryce, I have a question for you. Do you like trains?
Yes, I do like trains. Why are we talking about trains?
No, you finish texting Ryan. I'm doing a little bit of segue. You won't miss anything about the trains, I promise.
Okay.
I kind of like trains. I don't know anything about them.
But you're not like that's.
Do you want to know more about trains?
we're gonna talk about trains, and you're gonna like it, Gigs.
Sure.
Have you ever been on a train before?
Yeah.
Have you ever been on a metro before?
Yeah.
Where at?
Mexico.
Oh, okay. And then where else have you been on trains?
Ogden. Salt Lake.
Oh, what were you doing down? What were you doing that for?
For fun.
With who?
A girlfriend.
Okay. So you drove down to Ogden, and then you took the train to Salt Lake, and like you parked your car in Ogden just so you could be on the train. What was the train like? Was it fun? Was it cool?
No.
Well, that's because you were on the public transit train, which is stinky and full of poopy heads.
Pretty much, yeah. Oh man, the Mexico City Metro, dude. Yikes.
Tell me about it.
You get in there, you're like body to body with people. You can like taste their breath, and like when you get to your stop, you have to shove people over to get out. Pretty intense.
Almost as intense as like the circus.
But
Like circus tents. Like circuses are in big tents, like portable tents. Intense. No, am I?
Dude, did you know that they shove people into the Japanese trains? They have dudes with white gloves that stand on the platform and shove and shove and shove until the doors will close. and the Japanese train goes down the rails at 200 miles per hour.
I did not know that, but I believe it. So what I wanted to talk about was
Didn't they put Jews in trains?
They did do that.
fortunately there's a history of very bad people putting innocent people in trains. Stalin, Mao, Hitler. Not a great situation.
Cows.
Who?
They put cows in trains.
What about cows?
Horses?
Trains.
Okay, look.
Trains.
So this is what I was going to talk.
Dude, we're talking. Monkeys?
What were you gonna
They
say?
put
What were you
monkeys
gonna say about the trains? I want to hear about the trains.
All right, I'm ready.
Oh, okay. So, this is something that I'm like super passionate about. And I'm planning on making a YouTube video about it, but I'm not sure where to go with this, and so I'm probably gonna talk about it a little bit, and then I'm gonna continue talking about it, and then make it, and then go from there. I think that with the new presidency, there's a highly likelihood of a chance that we could maybe get trains that are as good as the trains that are in Europe and Japan here in the United States. I think that we could find a way to make trains cheaper, maintain them for cheaper, and do them at high speeds to make it usable for the U.S. We would need to restructure how we get companies to build trains. There's a lot that goes into it. I think that the airplane economy and the car economy in the U.S. is going to lobby against it, but I think that it is not healthy for lobbyists to stop progress in the United States. And I think that it is hindering the United States economy to not have trains between the Canada, US, Mexico, and maybe even South America in the way that exists in Europe and Japan. I think that there's some geographical
I think
issues.
it's healthy. I don't think it's healthy for lobbyists. Period.
What do you mean? You think that the airplane industry and GM lobbying against trains?
No, I said I don't think it's healthy for lobbyists. Period.
Like to have lobbyists
Nothing.
in any environment. I actually tend to agree with that.
Anyways,
So
continue. Tell us about the trains.
so I think that so there's so much to know about trains. I mean, a lot of people that they claim to know to have the traintism, and there's
I
a lot of
do
people
know
that
a lot
do
about
have,
trains.
and there's a lot of people that do love a lot about trains. What I'm focused on is not what happened in the past, which that can guide the future, but I'm focused on the future. Is there a way where we can create new technology and it doesn't even need to be any crazy new technology, but new technology to have train infrastructure invested in the United States. And so a couple of ideas to start with would be, what is the cost per mile to build? Why is it so high in the US? Why is it so much less in Japan and Europe in the past and now? How do we get back to that? If I had to guess, it is either lobbyist government bloat or middle management or a portion of all of those.
Combination.
And I can go into the detail of that. I don't think that steel fundamentally has got any more expensive than in the past. If anything, it's gotten cheaper. Even if you adjust for inflation, and that goes with all materials that exist to make trains, to make rails, right, and to make trains. There, even if we have lost the technology to build high-speed trains, we have smart physicists who can reinvent the wheel and create new high-speed trains if we need to. But we haven't lost the technology of high-speed trains. So I think it's two problems. One is getting the tracks very cheap, but still very effective and still very usable. And maybe there could be a competition of who and how can we, in an ingenious way, make tracks cheaper than even the cheapest tracks in all of Europe and all of Japan. Because one of the things that I see, and I think this is true, is one of the reasons why we don't have trains in the U.S. is Europe is very densely populated. Going from one town to one town to get from one town that's of 10,000 people to another town of 10,000 people, you're only going to go 20 minutes. Whereas in the U.S., sometimes you could go 6 hours by car, or you could go a couple hundred. If you would want to do one unit of distance, it would be like, how many miles would you need to go? And I think that while that may be true, and we wouldn't be able to connect every single town, essentially, if there's a metric of as the track gets cheaper, it becomes more viable to reach out and touch every little small town that exists in the United States or in the contiguous Americas. So I'm thinking Canada, Mexico, and the U.S. and stuff like that. And so if we can get it cheap enough, then it's like, yeah, you can connect a small little town in Wyoming to connecting to Boise or connecting to Salt Lake or something like that. Because then once you get to
Well,
a
it
bigger,
used to be that way.
yeah, and I think there's a lot of lobbyists inside of Union Pacific. I think that it was the history of trains in the United States it has a strong history, but I think that it stopped being useful in the like World War II era maybe. And I think that we need to get rid of the monopolies, and we need smart, capable businessmen and women to go in there and get rid of all of the laws, all of the regulation, all of the past contracts around the train tracks, and get people back on track. Literally, I like that actually. But there's a lot of new technology, and I could even envision robotic maintenance. So a lot of maintenance of tracks that already exist is humans. I think that with Tesla, that's kind of proven that we can use cameras to get robots in. And like one of the ways that you maintain a track is, let's say it's a wooden railroad tie or a plastic composite railroad tie, and it's been ruined, broken, it's been ran over 1,000 times by the train, and then it busts in half. You go in there and you go in and you rip it out and you put a new one in, and then you spike it back down. That doesn't seem like it's too difficult of a problem to get a robot that's on the tracks to come in, close off the thing. The robot pulls it out, throws a new one back in, and bolts it back down even better, replaces it with a composite one or something like that so it'll never ever break. Because I can go into the materials of all of it, but I won't now. And then one person can be running it, and then it's very cheap to maintain track and things like that. And I think that the material investment for a train goes to zero the more that we use it. And so like the more every time that it's used, it becomes cheaper to have had that track exist. It's economies of scale. And I think that Trump and his organization and everything like that could be receptive to this idea. So I think it'd be cool to start a movement of like, we need to get smart, capable people thinking and refactoring and just bringing the trains of the United States into the modern era and have it exist. I want to go see my family in Arizona over the weekend. I want to go see my grandma in Cincinnati or whatever. I have a public train pass that I use for work. Let me use that same public train pass to go see my grandma. It's already covered. It's no extra expense to me, kind of thing. And yes, the U.S. domestic airlines might suffer a little, and we would need to see about that. But I won't go into that now. But I have another conversation about how competition is good, and like, actually, I am going to get into it now. I know I'm going on a big long monologue, and both at least Bryce is bored, but I know Giggs is partially interested.
Trains?
Yeah, trains. I think that there's a story of in the US there was people like their entire professional career was they owned and rented out horse stables, and they also had services where they put will you stop beating your shit while I'm talking? Oh, okay, yeah. Then you can just keep beating that then.
Beating the butt plug.
You're good. Whatever.
Now caress his neck.
No, I'm not gonna do that. So there's this idea of technology of like there were people that their entire careers was making chassis for buggies that were behind horse-drawn carriages, and there was there was a whole U.S. economy around housing horses whenever rich people would come into town and they could stay in their hotel, and it was like that was great. And I bet when cars started coming along, people were like, no, we're going to lobby against this because there's people are going to lose their jobs. Think of all the people that run the stables. Well, it's like if you look into the future 40 years, what you see is you see someone that lived outside of New York. They couldn't go to New York in 1880 except for maybe by train, and it was very expensive. They could only do it like once in a lifetimer, and if they were a farmer, and it was really awesome for them. And then you push forward 50 years, and you're looking into the 1950s, or we'll say 60 or 70 years. A farmer was capable of owning a truck or a Ford T or whatever you want to call it, and the new technology enabled for them that, although it was still a big trip, they could very financially easily get them and their family to New York to go for a vacation or to go see their family for much cheaper. And that meant that a new technology kind of disrupted another piece of technology, which was there was a time where all we did was walk, and then we went to horse-drawn carriage and then kind of thing. And it's like there might be maybe planes are cheaper, but that doesn't mean that trains shouldn't exist, because then we have healthy competition and healthy economy. And it's like, I don't want to get into I've thought kind of deeply about it. I think that fundamentally, from a physics perspective, we needed to find out how cheap is it for a human to go 1 mile in a plane, and how cheap is it for a human to go 1 mile in a train. And there might be the answer. I don't know if it's planes, then great, but that doesn't mean there's not an area between cars and planes that people that aren't as financially well off can meet, which is trains. And no matter what, making trains cheaper in America means that obviously me and Gideon inherently like trains. We got the traintism, which is fine. But like I think it would be better for everyone in America to build this out and have the investment around this thing. So it's not about specific models of gas or whatever else, or kind of thing. I think that we could have nuclear trains. I think that could be a thing that would happen, but I don't think that. I'm kind of dubious of nuclear trains because of derailments.
Hey, did you see, speaking of nuclear, that I think it's like Tooele, or no, Eagle Mountain. Eagle Mountain is trying to change one of their codes to see if they can't get a small nuclear reactor by them.
Trump train. Yeah, we're going nuclear.
Trump train.
You're going to be surprised. Here in the next 10 years, the U.S. is going to be told there's going to be nuclear everywhere. I've been reading up and watching it. A bunch of money just flowed in. So we can go over this. This is a part of the train puzzle that I want to talk about. There's regulation in the United States around not making nuclear, and a lot of it's going away. Anyway,
I know. It's
Bryce,
great.
I know that was really hard for you. I'm really proud of you.
America.
I'm really proud of you, Bryce. Anything that you want to add or think about? Did you like any of that? What did you think about all of that?
I think next episode we should talk about cars.
We can talk about it. We are like an hour and 20 minutes in, so whatever you guys want to do. I feel like the first 40 minutes were dog shit.
I'm kind of sleepy.
They're really funny, though. It was pretty funny.
Lots of butt plugs.
There was lots and lots of butt plugs in this one.
There was. What we should do now is we should turn off the recording so that Garrus will actually show up, and we should talk with Garrus.
Wait, will Garrett not? Is that why he's not talking?
That'd be my guess.
We can do that. Okay.
Let me throw something. Or something I can